Do you try to read books to completion? Do you really try to complete books? Well, if you think you should, or if you're reading one book at once, or if you're reading way too many books and you're trying to complete it, like one book a week or one book a month, then this video is for you. The reason is you might be making a mistake. I've done this too, and I think it's a mistake because you'll know why in this video. In fact, I'll be telling you an amazing way to read that really works. So instead of reading, trying to complete books, this way is something that will give you a lot more benefit. Now, how can I say that so confidently? Because this is an increasing trend among a lot of entrepreneurs and book readers. Now, what is this kind of a trend? How are they reading it? That is what I'll be covering in this video. So let's begin. Hello guys, welcome to Models of Excellence, where we tell you about tools, strategies, techniques and models to help you lead an excellent life. So one of the things that could help you lead an excellent life is the reading habit. Now, it's not just about reading habit, it's how you read. And in fact, the inspiration for this came from one of the video from Joe Rogan podcast. So just going on YouTube, and in one of the clips of Joe Rogan podcast, the guest was Naval Ravikant. Now, Naval Ravikant is an Indian-American entrepreneur. He's the founder and CEO of AngelList, which has various solutions for early stage startups. He is very famous for his tweets on entrepreneurship, finance, money, lifestyle, relationships, wisdom, and a lot of things. And one interesting part was about how he read books. Now, I'll be taking tips from that and I'll be giving you. So what is this way of reading books that can work so well, that is so powerful? So one, he speaks about, by the way, if you want to check out the video, you can check it. I'll leave it in the description. Very interesting video. So one, he says he stopped reading books to completion when he was in childhood. Alright, he stopped that. There's a very important reason for it. Reading books to completion is not necessary. It's a waste of time. You don't have to know the index, you don't have to know every single thing. So it saves you time. It saves you a lot of time. Second one is, a lot of people try to read so that they can complete and show off the books on their social media. I've done it too. A lot of people are guilty about it. Probably you are too, if you have ever posted a picture of a book and put it on Instagram. Now, the problem is when you try to read it to completion, one big problem is you're wasting time. I already spoke about that. The second part is you're getting way too much information in. The thing is, you have finite amount of memory. You can't stuff a lot of information in. So reading the book completely is not good. The second part about it is books also contain bad advice. We don't think about it, right? We think the book is good advice, everything. No. Maybe you have some amazing gems here and there, or maybe a lot, but there are also some bad advice. So taking the bad advice isn't good. Another part is when you read a lot of books, completely there's way too much information. It's like, information constipation or something. With so much information, you feel exhausted. You don't know, your mind doesn't know which to prioritize. So that becomes a problem. You don't know which is important, which isn't important, you don't know how to apply it. It puts you in a very confusing place. So what do? Naval says that he reads books out of curiosity. He doesn't complete the books, and a lot of times he has about 50 to 70 books on his Kindle at once. And he keeps moving from one book to other, to blogs or here and there. But he only does it out of curiosity. He just looks for ideas and then he could implement. Now he also says that instead of reading a lot of books, he would rather read good 100 books over and over again so that he can internalize the idea. Now we don't give enough time for internalization. We read books, we jump from one book to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other. Now if this is happening to you, you're probably addicted to information, right? Just like we are addicted to Netflix, or just like we are addicted to video games or sweets, we are addicted to information. Now if you don't know this, every time you learn something new, your brain releases dopamine, which means it makes you feel good for learning something new. So if you're going from one book to the other, to the other, to the other, that is a pattern that you need to get out of. Because unless you implement it, it's of no use, right? Like for example, if you learn coding, if you don't use it for anything at all, if you never practically apply it, or you never try to understand what is it for, never try to internalize it, but if you move on to the next thing, then there's no point, right? It's a potential power wasted. People say knowledge is power, but knowledge is potential power. Unless you put it to use, it's not really useful. So in that way, letting yourself internalize, minimizing the books, taking only certain important ideas, not finishing the book, taking it and internalizing it will leave you in a lot better place. For example, let's say you learn something about communication skills. Alright, you need to have a certain body language, speak a certain way, try some tonality. Now all you can do is read about that and go and practice it. Try to understand what is it about, why are they telling this, is it really important? And do your research on that topic as well if you're curious about it. That will help you internalize. The other one is curiosity. Our life isn't only about our work. Our life isn't only about a professional part of it. Even though we do it a majority of our life, it's not really the only thing we have. Our hobbies and the things that make us feel alive, our interests, our curiosity, these are the things that really make us fulfilled. So when you read for curiosity, you tend to pay a lot more interest. Also, another part of it is when you pay a lot of interest, you also tend to learn it quicker. This is actually one of the most interesting tips on how to remember what you read, is to read stuff that you are interested in. Don't force yourself into something that you're not curious about at all. So that's the other part of it. So this is an increasing trend, guys. This is the model. This is the way to read. Now, if you want to hear from Naval Ravikant himself on how he reads, you can go check the video out once again. Amazing video. I highly recommend it. If you felt like you learned something of value, something that you could apply in your life, something that could help you, then leave a like and hit that subscribe button. With that said, this is Abhishek signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.